What you can do right off the start is loosen the hose that goes from the cylinder head to your water pump. And once you've got that off, when you pull off your cover, the hose should come off the head with it. You can then take all of the bolts off the water pump cover. They are 10 millimeter. And once you have all those bolts off, you can get your fingers in behind it and you can just wiggle it back and forth and it comes off. And then for the hose, just twist it. Now you can see your impeller. And to take the impeller off, all you need to do is take your 10 millimeter counterclockwise, take the bolt off. Sometimes you might be able to just wiggle the impeller back and forth like you did the cover, but most of the times you can't. So I just take the bolt and leave it on, but loose. It's like there's a little bit of play in it. And once you got that little bit of play, you can flip it around to the front. And hopefully you guys can see this. Here's the oil pump. And the oil pump has two 5 millimeter Allen keys. So you can just take your Allen key, or like I have, just a socket with the Allen key in it. You can loosen these bolts, cap screws. Now you have the oil pump off. You can take the 8 millimeter socket, and on the bottom of the crankcase there is a fitting, and with this fitting there is a hollowed out cap screw. So when you take it off, there's going to be a washer, an aluminum washer. It's a crush washer that makes a good seal against the copper brass fitting. There is one to the bolt, and then there's one to the crankcase. So once you have that, you can just lift your oil pump right out of the way and just hook it up on one of the throttle bodies to get it out of the way. Make sure you don't lose. There's an O-ring on the oil pump itself. Then you can take off this adapter, which is a spacer, and most of the time you can see right here this washer. That's the thrust washer. You have to keep that either on the shaft or on the actual adapter like I took off. So now you have the hole for your oil pump where it used to be. So now that you have this stuck on impeller, you can flip the motor back around. Careful with your oil pump. Now you can loosen it off a little bit more. Just tap on it. Hopefully that will loosen whatever is sealing or seizing on the impeller. And you cannot grab onto the impeller in any way because that impeller is made out of like a plastic, and I've tried before and I've just wrecked the impeller. You can see it was kind of, I don't know if that's a Loctite or something, but now that you have the bolt off and you've tapped on it a bunch of times, hopefully you've loosened it enough so that you can spin the motor around again and come at it from the front. I'm just using a normal set of vice grips that fit in, and I can grab the shaft. And you just grab onto the shaft and you spin it while you're pulling out. Back and forth, and you can just hear the impeller just fell off the other side. And just wiggle it up and down, side to side. And it helps if you got it on a good solid workbench instead of some 5-gallon pails and plywood. And just wiggle it until you can get it to come out. And there you have your water pump shaft. I just leave it hooked up and put it off to the side. Now, rotate it again. You can see the oil pump, the impeller shaft. Impeller, I guess, not the shaft. But now you have your mechanical water pump seal. And that has to come out. And this is the mechanical part. So it's a spring and a rubber diaphragm, accordion type thing. But this is the part where you have to pry or use a seal puller, something. Most of the time the seal pullers don't even fit, so I just take that big flathead screwdriver and start loosening it up. And be careful not to go too far. Start marking up your case. Now with my seal puller I could get in after I loosened off the hole with the flathead screwdriver. And there is the water pump shaft seal between these two parts. Now it's going to be hard for you guys to see, but inside, behind the water pump shaft seal, is the oil seal that protects from the oil and the combustion and everything from coming out through into your water pump. and it's held in with a snap ring, and that's where you need your snap ring pliers. So I'll just go get one. And once you have your snap ring pliers, you can go in and I gotta flip mine around. Like I was saying, you can go in and then you can hopefully remove this snap ring without marking up. Too bad inside your crank. Okay. And there you have the snap ring. You can put that off to the side so you don't lose it. And then you can go back in with your seal puller and carefully get in behind it, the oil seal, and pry. It comes out fairly easy, so if it starts fighting you a lot, you're more than likely hitting the aluminum. And there you have the oil seal. And now inside, there's more than likely going to be a little bit of a oily residue. So I usually just take some brake clean. Take some brake clean and just spray it out. And try not to get anything in the motor itself. And I usually take a rag, take some blue shop towel, and just stick it in there and try and absorb all the brake clean. Now it's all nice and clean in there, ready for our new seal. But it looks like I might have marked it. No, but that's fine. Won't hit it. Now you can go and take your new seal and install it into the motor itself, just like the old one came out.